Welcome back to SimTV. I'm your host Kyle Heyer, and tonight we're back here at the Sonoma Raceway for the SCRS Super RallyCross West Series, but we got a little bit of a twist. Of course, the iRacing heat format system on the beta UI is pretty terrible, so it messed up again, and here we are at the IRL version of Sonoma, and we're going to continue racing. We're just going to do it. We're going to skip the heats, I believe, if they are skippable. We have yet to find that out, but we have 5 drivers entered in this one. We lost Kurt Crum. He had to go for the evening. But this is going to be basically a wild card race, and we have 5 minutes to qualify here. And I guess we'll get to see who comes out on top after it's about 10 laps here around the IRL course here at Sonoma. So it's going to be kind of a crazy one. So Brian Sohn pulling out now. Andrew Mickey's on track, as well as Finney and DeCuna. And we're just going to see what happens here. The IRL course, obviously a lot longer. Lap time's about in the minute 38 to minute 40 range. So this race is going to be long and require a pit stop. This was not the intention, but we're going to roll with it anyway here in SCRS Super RallyCross. We figured low car count, might as well just do something for fun. And instead of wasting the money and starting all over, we'll just work with this. So Andrew Mickey's going to be the first one to the line in that number 86 car. Well, it's right on board here. We'll go for a whole lap around here, maybe with the 94 of DeCuna, who was your previous race winner. So here comes DeCuna into the final hairpin, super tight in these all-wheel drive cars. But here comes a lap at the Sonoma IRL course here in wine country. Up the hill towards turn 2. Gonna downshift a couple times, get it all the way to the left and swing it back to the right, up and over the crest, across the curbing. Down into a compression zone. The suspension in these rallycross cars is going to load up. You're going to swing it back to the left, up and over the blind crest. That could be a tricky corner for these cars. Back on the gas. Slam on those brakes hard. Get on the binders. Slow it down. Swing through onto the IndyCar course. The long course here at Sonoma obviously includes this carousel. You see DeCuna going to run wide. That's going to be a 1X. That's going to invalidate the lap time. But see him going to swing back this long left-hand corner. This seems like it goes on forever, and then on to the back straightaway. The end of the drag strip here at Sonoma. All the way to the top of 5th and 6th gear, down onto the brakes. Into 2nd. Back into 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Through the S's portion here. Up and over the curbs. Back to the left, and instead of swinging all the way to the right like the NASCAR cars do here, we're going to go up and over the hill and down towards this final chicane, which is going to catch out a lot of drivers here this evening. Through the chicane, nice and tight, keep it tidy. Accelerating out and heading towards the hairpin. And instead of the far one that the stock cars use, we're going to use the short IndyCar one here, and it is tight. Ooh, DeCuna's going to slide a little bit here. Keep it in those lines and back onto the front straight. So no one's going to put down a time for that first lap. Except for Brian Sohn actually laid down a time. That's a 1:37.516 that he's going to lay down. And the rest of these drivers will have a chance at another go here. But up and over the hill, we're going to go for the 86 Bombshell Motorsports car. He's going to get an off track, so that lap is over for him. Salisbury's working his way around. We'll see if... Not sure how far he's gotten, but he looks like he's hauling. Onto the brakes through the chicane, nice and clean. Keep it on course. Looks like he will. And a surprise starter here this evening, Jared Heap and the number 5 Volkswagen Beetle. Right on board. Got Canada on the nose of that Beetle here this evening. And he'll actually lay down a time. It's going to be a 1:38.461, about 9/10 of a second off that of the 03 of Brian Sohn. Again, Brian Sohn runs Penguin RC Simulations. Check out their links in the description. They sell premium sim racing hardware, shifter paddles, and all sorts of good stuff. So check out that link in the description. I also want to give Sparko a big thanks for sponsoring us here on SimTV. See, how's Finney and DeCuna doing in that number 94? Here he is. Don't know if he's kept it on course the whole time. If he hadn't gotten a 1X, he would have been the pole sitter. So out of the final corner, where will he end up? Qualifying is over. He's not going to get his lap in, unfortunately. And that's going to mean that Brian Sohn is on the pole. And it looks like we are going to skip, hopefully, right to the feature race here. And once we do, we should expect go green for 10 laps here at the Sonoma Raceway here in Sonoma. Actually, this is shown as a 5-lap race here. So perhaps this is not the feature. All the cars are in the race, though, so we'll go with this. We'll wait for those lights. Everyone's gridded. We should see those red lights come on. 5 laps to go here in this race. Red lights are on. We're going to wait for them to go out and the green flag to drop. There it is. Green flag is in the air and they're off. Brian Sohn's going to jump out to a quick lead, but there's a gaggle there. Jared Heap. Will Salisbury side by side. Up over the hill. And this is going to be a tricky one for Daguna to defend because he's going to be third here. And without a Joker strategy to play, as we were talking about in the first race, it's going to be a challenge for him to make this work. So we're going to head down towards the infield section of the course here. Whoa, is that Jared Heap going to go wide, but he's going to drift it and hold on to it. Battle for the lead. Going to head down the hill. Will Salisbury tucked right underneath the rear wing of that Volkswagen Beetle, that 03 of Brian Sohn. Kuna's running there in third. Down the long back straightaway. To the top of the gearing. Sohn's going to lead him in. Salisbury closes, and there's Dacuna right there, ready to pounce. Battle for the lead. Salisbury takes a look, but can't get it done. Gonna tuck back in Brian Sohn up and over the curbs, as is Finney Dacuna. All strung out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this is really the battle for your lead right here. Salisbury and Sohn. Salisbury closes on the braking zone. Sohn runs wide, as does Dacuna and Andrew Mickey. Salisbury kept it on course there. Up the hill again. 4 to go now. Salisbury's closing again. The gap is 0.3 of a second up and over the curbs. He's going to take a look heading down into the infield section. There he goes to the inside. Sohn's going to leave him room. Gotta keep it nice and tidy. Oh, that was close there. Side by side for the lead. Salisbury to the outside now. Sohn's got the preferred line going down the hill. Gotta watch out for contact here on corner exit. Down the back straightaway this time. Jared Heap has fallen behind about 6 seconds from this battle. Through the hairpin again. Salisbury closes. Evenly matched between these front three. Salisbury aggressive down into the braking zone. Can he make it to the inside? He's going to. Can he complete the pass? Slides in. Was there contact? Might have been. It's awful close there. But he has a slowdown, it looks like. Yes, he does. And that's going to put Dacuna in P2. Racing side by side for third. Salisbury cuts that. Oh, that's tight. Is that another slowdown? Might have been. Nope. Looks like he's going to pull off without much incident there. Side by side for the lead. Here comes Dacuna to the outside. Can't make that pass out there. Got to tuck back in behind Brian. Heading up the hill again. Three laps to go now. Here comes Dacuna. Is he going to look to the inside here? No, he's going to get on the binders and swing to the outside. Doesn't want to run into the 0-3. Well, Brian runs wide a little bit on corner exit. Finian's looking hungry there. But also, you got to be patient here. Still 3 to go, coming to 2 to go when we get to the line. That's a lot of time here. About 1 minute and 37, 38 seconds around. Oh, Dakuna runs wide. He keeps it on the track, but just barely swinging out low. He's going to be out of control. And here comes Will Salisbury back into the group. Around the outside, but that's going to be a long way around. Can't quite get that done. Last lap so far is a 39 point, a 36.9 by the number 94, Dakuna. But here he comes under fire from the 77 of Salisbury. Now, Salisbury cut that pretty close again. You got to watch out for the slowdown there. Doesn't look like he's going to have one this time by, but it was pretty close. Back onto the braking zone again. Salisbury so good on the brakes. Zone runs wide, as does Salisbury. Dakuna keeps it on the track that time. 2 laps to go here at Sonoma. Everyone pretty evenly matched. Even Jared Heap back there in the 5. Is the gap between him and Andrew Mickey has stayed pretty constant, even though those guys have fallen off the pace just a little bit. Dakuna's looking racy to the inside. Can he make it? No, he can't. Going to back out before he gets into the rear of the 03 of Zone. Where is he going to put that WRX down into the infield section again? Here comes Salisbury looking to the inside. Kind of caught Dakuna by surprise there. Here comes to the inside, side by side now. Up the hill. And back down. Dakuna's going to slide over. Salisbury's going to get to the inside. But can Dakuna hold that line out there? Got to be careful on corner exit. You can get real understeery out here. Salisbury takes over P2. We have a lap and a half to go. Brian Stone has been out front for this entire thing, but Salisbury's looking real racy. Last time by ran a 36.8, but Dakuna ran a 38.6, so 2 seconds slower, or 1.1 seconds slower rather. But here comes Salisbury. Is he going to stick it down to the inside? Can't quite get there. They're all real tight through here, being very careful, tiptoeing over the curbs. They don't want to get a slowdown. We're coming to the white flag. Salisbury looks for it. Dakuna got a wider arc into the corner, so we're going to be side by side for the lead. Come on to white flag. Brian Stone side by side now with Salisbury to the line. Last lap. Salisbury completes the pass heading up the hill. It was stolen from him about a half an hour ago in the East Series race, and he took it back from Brian Stone here in the West race. Now, Dakuna's too far back to get the lead. This is really all Salisbury at this moment, and got some clear track to work with. And the battle now is going to be for second. Stone gets wide, but Dakuna's right there to pounce. To the inside, Dakuna sticks his nose. Can he get it down there? Not quite. Stone's keeping it tight and not giving Dakuna a lot of room to work with there. The front 3 down the back straightaway, heading for that hairpin. Dakuna's close. No one's going to be close enough to get Will Salisbury unless he makes a mistake. But Brian Stone's going to move over, let Dakuna by. Dakuna's sideways. Through the dirt. Will he get a slowdown for that? Out of control. Across the dirt. He's going to slip in behind the 03 of Brian Stone. Couple corners left to the inside. Stone's going to go wide. That's going to be a slowdown. Contact between the two. Racing to the checkered. Checkered flag is in the air, but we're focused on the battle for second. Stone throws it down to the inside. Contact. They make contact. Here comes Andrew Mickey. Dakuna's going to slide ahead to the checkered flag. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Salisbury, then Dakuna, then Brian Stone, then Andrew Mickey. Contact between the two behind him. And Jared Heap comes in and will round out this group in 5th place. What a finish to that race. Of course, out up front, Salisbury took pretty good control of that, but here we are for the feature race now. We'll reset them, and we'll go again, but I imagine there's some salt in the wounds there for Dakuna and Stone, although Dakuna finally completed that pass in that corner, but Stone really chucked it in there for a Hail Mary. But we have 10 laps. That was a great 5-lap heat race there to set the starting order for this feature. It'll be 10 laps. It'll be about 16, 17 minutes if everything goes nice and smooth. All 5 cars have gridded. Wait for the red lights to go on. Red lights are on. We're waiting for the green. There it is. Green flag is in the air, and they're off now. And Dacuna's going to get a fresh start, and he's going to go for Salisbury up the hill. Jared Heap and Andrew Mickey side by side near the rear. Door to door, being very careful. Mickey's going to move back into 4th. But up front, Dacuna's looking right to that rear bumper of the 77 of Salisbury. These guys battled all race in the E-Series race, but it ended with Salisbury losing the lead in the final corner to a well-thought-out joker lap by the number 94 of Finian Dacuna. And without a joker here, Finian's strategy is a little bit ruffled, but he's going to have to just flat-out drive him here at the IRL course here in Sonoma. Field strung out pretty nicely already. Here's Jared Heap. Closing on the 86 of Mickey. I'll be sliding a little bit too much. You see, someone would track through the grass there. I wasn't sure if that was Brian Sohn or who that was, but through the chicane for the first time. It's like everybody gets through there cleanly. Down to the end of the first lap. Oh, Dacuna's on the brakes hard. Brian Sohn's going to lose a spot, probably a slowdown for him. That's going to move Andrew Mickey up into the 3rd spot now. 9 laps to go now, side by side. Jared Heap's going to get around the 03 of Sohn. Oh, a little bit, almost some argy-bargy there. So last time by, Finian actually ran a quicker lap time than that of Salisbury. So we'll keep an eye on these front two. But meanwhile, Sohn is trying to get his spots back that he lost from that slowdown penalty. Out of front, both drivers, both leaders off track there at the exit of the carousel. Everybody's off track. Down to the hairpin again. Here comes Brian Sohn looking to the inside of Jared Heap. Can't quite get there. We've kind of separated into a group of 2 and a group of 3. But this is the battle for the lead. Way up the racetrack, about 4 seconds ahead of Andrew Mickey. Down into the chicane for the 2nd time now. Tiptoeing through here. Don't want to mess this up. Looks like Dacuna might have gotten a slowdown he had to serve there. He lost a bunch of ground on Salisbury. That's going to be a lot to make up. And Andrew Mickey is closed in now. Ooh, he's a little bit sideways. Here comes Jared Heap looking to take advantage of that. Up the hill now for the 3rd time. We're going to have a battle for 3rd here shortly. Andrew Mickey has been caught by the number 5 of Jared Heap, who was quite quick last time around. Actually has the 2nd best lap time in this race. 2nd only to Will Salisbury's 1:35.5. And that 5 is closing in on the 86, that Bombshell Motorsports Fiesta. We're watching that gap to the lead between Salisbury and Dacuna, but are also watching this battle. Oh, Mickey's going to run wide off into the grass. Got to watch that tire barrier. He's going to get back on, but he's going to lose 1, if not 2 spots. Wow, Brian Sohn's going to tuck in behind him. We'll see if Sohn wants to do anything with him at the end of the straightaway. Into the braking zone hard. He's going to stick his nose in. Not quite. Oh, Mickey gives him some room. And Sohn's going to shove it down to the inside and complete that pass for 4th. Out up front, 4-second gap now. Going to losing ground. And here comes Andrew Mickey trying to get back by the 03 of Sohn, but not going to be able to do it this time. Tiptoeing through the chicane again. 3.9 seconds is the gap. Coming to 7 to go. And Jared Heap. Oh, contact from the 0-3 is Sohn. Oh, they'll keep it going straight. That was a little bit of contact there, but no harm, no foul. Riding on board with Sohn, now with Andrew Mickey heading up the hill. Sohn is being really aggressive on the brakes. Up and over the curb for the 86. I see Jared Heap run wide. He's going to tuck it back in. Oh, that was a pretty scary looking move. And Jared Heap's going to go, I would say wide, but that was really to the inside. Oh, Mickey drifts it. And Heap's going to run wide. Going to lose all the ground that he had gained up. Meanwhile, up front, last time by, the gap between the 2 lap times for the 2 leaders was 1/10 of a second. But really, Dacuna's really losing ground here. Now 4.2 seconds back. He's going to have to figure something out. Now it's 4.4. It looks like Salisbury's just getting off the corner better than the 94. Finian's really good through the center of the corner, but can't quite seem to put the power down as well as the 77. Meanwhile, in the back here again, Mickey, Sohn, and Heap still in this battle. Separated but a little bit more than they were a few laps ago, but we're edging our way towards the halfway point. 10 minutes left in this race. Go on the gyro cam with your leader, Will Salisbury, here for a little bit of a lap. See what he's doing so well up here. So Salisbury just being very smooth, very patient on throttle. And it's helping him really get off the corner. And Dacuna's suffering just a little bit. Not really a points concern for Finian, but because he's ahead of the guys that he's battling. But certainly just for bragging rights, you want to be able to win something like this. But that chance is slipping away little by little as we work our way towards the halfway point. Meanwhile, the battle back here with the 3 amigos, Mickey, Sohn, and Heap, is closing back up again. Here comes Heap to the inside of Sohn. Can he get there? We'll ride on board with him. Sohn's going to run a kind of a defensive line in the middle of the track, but going to move back to the left. He tried to get back to the throttle, but had to wait on it. Work our way down towards the chicane through the S's again. He closes in. Contact with the 0-3. He's going to push him wide. They're both going to spin. And Sohn's going to lose a lot of ground. And trying to get that car in reverse is a tricky task. Let's go back and take a look at it. Sohn was just really slow through here, and that's not a really great angle, but it looks like the 5 just got in a little bit too much, a little bit too hard. And got into the rear of Sohn, and then Sohn tries to get it in reverse, can't quite get it, and just kind of noses into the wall there. Stalls it, and has to back it up again. Up front, we have some news to share from the front of the field. And that is that we have had pit stops up front while that was going on. And it looks like Dacuna's actually going to jump ahead of Salisbury on pit lane, so a smart move by Dacuna to close in, but Brian Sohn has not made his pit stop yet. He has taken over the lead for the time. Andrew Mickey's also made his pit stop. Jared Heap is also in pit lane and leaving right now. So Dacuna's going to jump ahead, and it's another strategy call here. But I gotta just hope that Dacuna got all the fuel that he needed, because this is going to come down to really using all the fuel these cars carry on board, since they're meant for short races, and this is longer than we normally run. And Dacuna's wide. Ooh, that's going to lose him his spot. He's got to defend this very, very aggressively. He's going to lose it. Salisbury's going to get back by. On the brakes, not as hard as Salisbury, and Finian's going to... To the inside, can he make it stick down there? Yes, he can, but he can't get the acceleration off to beat him through the S's. But he maintains it side by side. He's actually going to have to get ahead of him here. If he can't do it here, he's going to lose him. The acceleration down to the braking zone of the chicane. He's going to stick his nose in there. Will he make the pass? Salisbury's going to give it to him. Finian's going to run wide, and Salisbury's going to go right around the outside again. Great stuff. Battle for the lead here with 5 to go. But again, Salisbury just so good and is actually going to take that lead back away. Meanwhile, Brian Sohn on pit lane for fuel. While this battle rages on with the 2 leaders, and Finian is not giving up. I think he thinks he's got the pace to get by Salisbury, but we have yet to see him really run that much faster, and just understeers way, way, way wide in turn 1, or turn 2 there, and loses about a second on the 77. But I don't know if he's got the raw pace, but he certainly tried to outsmart him there on pit lane. Wasn't able to quite get it done. You see Finian being really aggressive now with his lines, trying to do everything he can to pull in closer to that 77. Jared Heap is off track. Brian Sohn now leaving his pit stall. Andrew Mickey is 3rd on track, but he's just entering the infield section as the others are on the backstretch already. And now the gap is 1.5 seconds with 4 to go. Valiant effort by Dacuna to try to outsmart the 77, but I think really what set him up to get past was that mistake in the carousel. Just got a little bit too wide and got Salisbury side by side with him, and from that point on, he was just going defensive. And he looks like he's really struggling to get the car rotated on corner exit. And now the interval between the two is 2.6 seconds back where it was prior to the pit stops. Andrew Mickey, 13 seconds back, is going to be a non-factor. We're coming now to 3 to go. And Salisbury is solidly in control of this one. You can see Finian really struggling with understeer here. And what we were seeing from Salisbury was a pointier method of turning, or just kind of throwing the car in there a little bit, letting the car settle with the suspension, and then just really stabbing the throttle to get the car to rotate on corner exit. And Dacuna's really trying to take a more traditional approach to driving this track, as if he were in a Formula car or a GT car, but it's just not working with this all-wheel drive system in this Subaru WRX. Interval is kind of maintained at 2.7, but let's see. Again, this understeer really shows its ugly head here on the exit of the chicane. Gained a 10th through there that time by. Oh, he's going to run a little wide here. Finian's really doing everything he can, but Salisbury's just pretty unstoppable here. Now we just got the 2 lap to go symbol that time by. So next time around it'll be white flag, and actually Finian closed in 1.9 seconds now. This is the only battle on the racetrack. And if Finian can be real smooth, he's last time by ran about 7/10 slower, but there is potential there to be quicker. 1.9 still. Down to 1.7. 1.4 now. A good couple sectors for the 94. This is where Salisbury really gets a good run. 1.6 seconds. It's kind of fluctuating in the mid-ones now. Down onto the brakes. A big curb hop there from the 94. Down through the S's again. A little bit offline there. He's going to get in the dirt a little bit. Got to be careful here. Down on the brakes. He's going to be offline heading for the chicane. He's locked him up, and he's going to be wide. He's going to lose all that ground that he just made up. Still in the dirt. Now he's 4 seconds down. It's just amazing. One little slip up cost him really 3.5 seconds on the racetrack. And now it's going to be white flag, and it's going to take a miracle to stop that 77 with a 4-second lead. White flag is in the air for your leader, Salisbury. 4.4 seconds back. Finian's got to be upset with himself over the last couple laps, especially with that slide off in the carousel a couple laps ago. He really could have had a strong shot to defend from Salisbury, given how hard it is to pass here at Sonoma Raceway. But looking back, there are things that he would probably want to change about that race. And honestly, this is all just for fun. I mean, this isn't going to affect him in the points at all. It'll probably actually extend his lead. But still a disappointing end of the race for him. Meanwhile, Salisbury going to carefully tiptoe his way through the chicane, as will Finian. And coming to the checkered flag now, he's got one more corner to make. The checkers are waving, and Will Salisbury, coming out of the final corner, is going to win the SCRS RallyCross race here for the West Series at Sonoma Raceway in the Sonoma Valleys of California. Will Salisbury wins. Finney DeCuna brings home second. Andrew Mickey now working his way around the final corners. And he will bring home a hard-fought third. This one was not easy. And he'll swing out of the final corner and bring home P3. And Brian Sohn still finishing up down the back straightaway here, heading into the chicane for the final time. One more corner for Sohn, and this is a race he'll probably want to forget. Tangled with the 5 of Jared Heap there, coming out of the S's, but just had a strong start and ended up sliding back to take home 4th place, and Jared Heap will come home with a DNF here today in Sonoma. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for a couple interviews, and we'll be out for this evening. Welcome back to Sim TV. We're here with your Race 2 winner, Will Salisbury. Will, you were really quick here. We were just going over in the Discord there that you ran a 7/10 of a second faster than the second place finisher on your best lap. Tell us about that race, because it was not a conventional one by Rallycross standards.
No, it was not quite a rallycross race by any means there, but it was a fun race regardless. A little rally on road, shake things up tonight. I had fun. That was a great race. The heat races were great too. That was a fun one to go up against Finney in there, and he definitely gave me a run for the money tonight in the feature as well. I don't know where the speed came from, to be honest. I was just focused on hitting my marks, and it all just sort of clicked and came together. This Subaru WRX is a great car. However, it does push like a dump truck going down the carousel coming out of that. So right when you think that you're not going to run off the track at the exit of the corner, you're going right off the track. And I think Finian followed me there the first couple laps when we did that. But it was fun, and you know, the rhythm. You just got to get into a rhythm with this track. It's so important to get into that and focus on it and hit it every lap, and that's just what I was trying to do. Especially after the hairpin in the left-right chicane complexes. That was just so much fun to try and hit those every lap, and you just bounce off one curb and hit the other one, and just you know, hold the throttle down and just send it. But it was a fun race. Finian gave me a run there in the pits. I don't know how he gained so much time. I wasn't quite sure where the commitment line, or I'm sorry, the pit speed limit cone was, and I didn't want to get a penalty for something stupid in the pits, because that's usually what always happens to me. So I played it really easy going in there, and he gained a lot of time and was able to get out in front of me, but made a mistake coming down the carousel, and we went side by side, and that was so much fun. I have a great amount of respect for him. I tried to give him as much room as possible as he did for me. So it's definitely very difficult when you're going side by side into some of those chicanes on the back there, and not knowing what's going to happen with the car, if he's going to wash up into you or if you're going to wash up into him. So we kept it clean, and it was a fun race, and we're just clicking off lap times, and glad to come home with the victory this one tonight. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, so congratulations on that win, Will. And Finian, we were just talking about the mistake that you made heading down into the carousel, and you got yourself ahead and threw it away there in one corner, and we're playing defense from there on. So tell us about what happened there and how you got ahead. I mean, how did you even do that? Was you just short fill it fuel-wise? I mean, that was pretty spectacular stuff.
Yeah, so basically during practice, I was like trying to figure out, you know, the pit stop, figure out, okay, that's where the pit cone is, because we were going to have to make the stop. So I was trying to just get that all sorted out. And initially, I was just going to take a full tank of fuel, but I realized that, we started with less of a tank of fuel than we had to add. We started with 5.6, and we were able to add, I think, 7.4 or 7.6, and I had like a gallon remaining. So I thought, okay, I'm 5 seconds behind. I'm just going to drive as fast as I can into the pits as I can and short fuel the car, because that's really the only shot I had left. And it worked out in my favor, but then coming to the carousel, which is my worst corner, that and the chicane, and I just locked the tires up and pretty much lost my advantage. So, but definitely great racing with Will. He was really fast and extremely consistent, which is what I was struggling with. I just couldn't find a good rhythm. I kept locking up the tires, heating them up, and making mistakes. And I ended up getting 2 slowdowns through the chicane. So I just wasn't consistent enough, and Will was. So that's how he won. So great win for him. And I was happy to finish second and at least close to him.
And extending your points lead for the next round. So congrats on that second place finish, Finian. Even a bad day for you. You came home P2. So we'll see you in the next race.
Thank you.
All right, and that will do it for us here tonight in the Sonoma Valley here in California. It is dry as a bone out here, but the racing was nice and spicy. Will Salisbury bringing home the West Series race, and Finian bringing home the East race. And Dakuna will extend his overall points lead. And we'll get the point standings updated for you for the next event in 2 weeks here on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for being with us. And as always, if you folks want to watch or compete in these races every other Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, it's in the open hosted section of iRacing. No password required. Come on in and join us. And in a couple weeks, this will turn into a Radical Racing League. We'll be heading off to a bunch of the free iRacing road courses, as well as Watkins Glen and Road Atlanta, and I believe Daytona as well. So Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Sign-ups for the Radical series are found in the forums under the hosted league section. So join us there, and we're not sure if those will be broadcasted yet, but keep an eye out and an ear out to keep an eye on us here on Sim TV. So thanks for being with us tonight. We'll see you on Sunday night with Finian will be back with us. It's going to be 3-wide truck series race at Lime Rock for, I believe, 80 laps. And Finian will be with me here physically. We'll be attending the Salem 6 Hours of the Glen here in New York State. So we'll see you on Sunday night. Thank you.